The Gift of the Valar. After the defeat of Morgoth, the world stood in silence. Beleriand had sunk beneath the sea, kingdoms were broken, and the First Age ended in ruin and glory alike. Yet among men, there were those who had stood beside the elves, who had fought with courage against darkness. To them, the Valar granted a gift unlike any other. In the middle of the Great Sea, far from Middle-earth, an island was raised from the depths. It was called Númenor. It was a land of green hills, white cliffs, golden grain, and harbors filled with ships. Its people were tall, wise, long-lived. They were stronger than other men, their minds were sharper. Their years stretched far beyond ordinary mortality. But there was one command. They could sail east to Middle-earth. They could explore. They could teach. They could rule. But they were forbidden to sail west. For in the far west lay Aemon, the Undying Lands, and immortality was not meant for men.
The return to Mordor in the year 2942 of the Third Age. After events set in motion during The Hobbit, a shadow moved east. The necromancer of Dol Guldur vanished, but he had not been defeated. He had returned home. Sauron crossed the mountains and entered Mordor openly. The Nazgûl gathered to him. Barad-dûr began to rise again from its ancient foundations, and Minas Ithil stood directly in his path. Gondor had grown weaker over the centuries. Plague had ravaged its people. Civil wars had divided its strength. The line of kings had failed, leaving stewards to rule in their place. The vigilance of old was fading. When Sauron declared himself once more, he did not strike Minas Tirith first. He struck the Moon City. The siege begins. The assault came in 2002 at the Third Age. From Minas Morgul's future valley poured orcs, trolls, and fell creatures. The 9 Nazgûl led them, ringwraiths cloaked in black terror. Minas Ithil resisted. Its walls were strong, its soldiers brave. For 2 years, the city held against the endless siege. Supplies ran thin, hope flickered, but Gondor fought with the stubborn pride of Númenor's heirs. Then the Nazgûl revealed their true weapon, not merely force. Fear. Their presence crushed courage. Their cries pierced the minds of defenders. Sleep vanished, madness spread, and slowly, inevitably, the walls were breached. The fall. In 2004, Minas Ithil fell. The White Tower was taken, its banners torn down. The Palantir captured. The Nazgûl entered the city, not as raiders, but as rulers. The moonlight that once bathed the marble streets now seemed pale and sickly. Fires burned green. Shadows clung unnaturally to stone. The city was emptied of its living defenders, and something else moved in. Something cold, something ancient. Minas Ithil was no more. The city of the dead moon. Its name was changed to Minas Morgul, the Tower of Dark Sorcery. The light within it seemed to become a dead body's illumination, radiating a most frightful glow. Even the flowers had ceased to sprout from it, and the air around became dense and heavy. Individuals were no longer inclined to travel through the valley. From the walls of the tower, the unholy one, Nazgûl, sealed in, was an infection that slowly seeped into Ithilio, and it was no longer merely a fortress. No, it turned into a genuine wound on the heart of the world. Gondor's retreat. With Minas Morgul lost, Gondor's eastern defenses collapsed. Osgiliath became the next battleground. The Anduin turned into a frontier of constant war. Minas Tirith, once the secondary city, now became the last great bastion. The White City braced itself for centuries. The fall of Minas Ithil was not just territorial, it was psychological. The enemy now had a throne within sight of Gondor's heart. The Palantir of Minas Ithil, the captivating seeing stone did not remain simply lying there, unnoticed. Sauron took advantage of it. Using it, he managed to influence countless minds. He could bend their wills and manipulate even the mightiest kings. Later on, this stone would somehow ensnare not only Saruman, but also Denethor, weaving a complex web of deception across the entire Middle-earth. The loss of such a valuable stone echoed even further than the city's eventual fall. This seemingly ordinary object turned into a weapon of immense power. Sauron masterfully wielded it, controlling it in ways no one could have ever imagined.
The Morgul blade. From the depths of Minas Morgul emerged a new form of horror. Among these terrors was the Morgul blade, a formidable weapon specifically designed not only to strike down but also to corrupt. Its most infamous victim would eventually become Frodo Baggins during the gripping events of the Fellowship of the Ring, a mysterious splinter of darkness, slowly working its way towards the very heart of the fortress. Minas Morgul was unlike any other stronghold that had ever existed. It was a sinister laboratory where despair worked its nefarious ways.
The Long Watch. For more than 1,000 years, the enigmatic city of Minas Morgul remains as a formidable threat unrivaled by any other. Gondor found itself unable to conquer it. Instead, Mordor started to expand its influence in a subtle but insistent manner. It was from the very gates of this fortress that the valiant army assembled before the pivotal Battle of the Pelennor Fields, a scene famously portrayed in The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. The enigmatic Witch King himself emerged from that infamous city, illustrating the true power that lay within the walls of Minas Morgul. This formidable fortress had evolved into the ultimate spearhead of Sauron's impending and final war. When light becomes shadow, Minas Ithil was not destroyed in a single night. It was eroded, besieged, psychologically broken, corrupted. Its fall teaches a brutal truth of Middle-earth. Evil rarely creates. It conquers what already exists. It twists beauty into horror. And the Tower of the Rising Moon became the Tower of Dark Sorcery. But even Minas Morgul would not endure forever, because beyond fear, hope was still riding toward Mordor.